Hello. So I've decided today to film the Celebrations 25th anniversary master set. You'll have to excuse the filming. It's the first proper video I've decided, screw it, let's make one, and I don't have a setup. So at the moment I'm just on my desk with a very strange looking blanket over my work stuff. I also realise I don't have I don't know what they're called actually. The things that hold your phone, like a kind of selfie stick. I've got a kind of tripod-y mount thing, but it doesn't extend. So I'm probably going to lift the phone up and use freehand, but that's fine. I wanted to show off something to do with 25th anniversary first, because technically not part of the master set. This is just here because why not? It looks really cool, and it's from the Celebrations VMAX collection. There's this, little bit of dust. It's the 25th anniversary deck box, completely made of wood by Ultra Pro. You can see all the energy symbols, the 25th anniversary. It's just a really nice. Technically, it's a deck box. Let me just your freehand here. I have used this as a deck box just for fun on a kind of Sunday League thing, and it is really quite clunky and isn't fun to use. But it slides open here, and then you can put your deck in here. A pretty cool thing, I guess. I've got a random old deck here, and you can see that it kind of is really awkward, and I'm not going to let go, because then it's just cards just loosely in there. What I found works better is those small deck boxes, so like the Professor Juniper ones from the kind of milk box things, the Marnie box, they actually fit in there really nicely, and you can pick them out. But yeah, it's just cool. You do have a little thing here for kind of dice and damage counters, and if you wanted to, you could have it there so you can pick from them. But as you know, when you're playing a game, probably better to just tip them all out on the table anyway. So cool, and I wanted to show it off as technically part of the master set, but here's the master set. So I'm using a Volt X binder. I try to use a Volt X binder for almost everything. Some of the earlier stuff that I've got master sets from, earlier Sword and Shield don't have Ultra Pro. No, they do have Ultra Pro, not Volt X. And that was because I was pretty new to collecting. But then I really quite like these binders, the kind of premium zip binders they have. For this one, I've gone with a 4-pocket because, as you know, Celebrations is a small set. I do typically go for a 12. Anyone who collects cards and looks at binders might be familiar with the Volt X binders, especially since Brilliant Stars. They've had set-specific ones. I always go for a set-specific one. If they made set-specific ones earlier than Brilliant Stars, so Fusion Strike backwards, I would definitely break the bank a little bit and purchase those. But no, didn't have them for Celebrations, so I went with the quite thematical yellow for the Celebrations. And let's start it off. So to begin with, just the 25 card set that you expect. So we got Ho-Oh, Reshiram, Kyogre and Palkia. The Kyogre that's started seeing a lot of play. Well, it has seen a lot of play. The original base set Pikachu in a full art style, which is really amazing. I actually have one of these set aside to grade. Not to resell. I've graded a lot of cards that I have no intention of selling. I just really like the artwork. Flying Pikachu V and VMAX, another playable card. For a set that's supposed to be just a celebration set, literally by name, it's actually done really well. Surfing Pikachu V and VMAX, I think that saw a little bit of play in Japan actually. Zekrom, Mew, still sees play now. I think I have quite a lot of those in quite a lot of decks. Xerneas, Cosmog, Cosmoem, and Lunala. Not the most playable, but it has seen play in some control decks. Zacian V, any God of War deck, any God of War player is familiar with that. It has the Roar, the Sword ability. It's essentially like the Shining Arcana God of War, but a lot tankier. Groudon, Zamazenta V, Veltal, Dialga, Solgaleo, Lugia, and then Professor's Research. Typical, but it's Professor Oak, and I do love the way he comes out of the card there to carry on his inscribing. The full art Professor's Research, a really cheap full art if you're looking to play full arts in a deck. That probably is the cheapest one, or one of. The Gold Mew, and then we move into, I guess, the Classic Collection is what they call it. So another 25 cards. So that is it. This is card number 25 of 25. A really small set. And thankfully, we did pull the Mew. So we pulled all of the cards, actually all of the cards in this binder, apart from two, and I'll point those out when we get to them. So we have the Celebrations base set reprint of Blastoise. I just really like the swirls there, if you didn't notice. And then, of course, the Charizard and the Venusaur. I'm going to get this up a little bit closer. It's a really nice condition card. They all are. Could I take it out and grade it? Maybe. Will I? Probably not, because I do like to have a master set where every card is in the binder. I have tried to order the master set, at least in what I think is the order in which the cards would have originally come out. I didn't do any fact checking with that. I just went off the top of my head. So if I'm wrong, let me know, and I'll happily rearrange them. Imposter Professor Oak, Dark Gyarados. Do love the Dark Gyarados there. Here comes Team Rocket and Rocket Zapdos. The holo on these cards is so good. The texture on the actual card, you can see, if I hold it up around the top, there's actual texture on the edges as well. It's really nice. Birthday Pikachu, Cleffa, and then Shining Magikarp. Kind of wish they did Shining Gyarados as well, but they didn't. And then we're moving up a generation, or a couple of generations here, into Team Magma's Groudon, Rocket's Admin, Mew EX, Gardevoir EX, but the Delta species, so it's a fire type. And then Umbreon Gold Star, which was from the pop packets, I want to say Season 4, or Series 4. This is the one that we didn't pull. We opened so much Celebrations, and I think we got 2 or 3 Charizards, not one Umbreon, but managed to pick one up pretty cheaply. I think they've dropped in price even since, but I think I got it for about £45. This is when Celebrations was maybe a month old. Claydol, Luxray level X, Garchomp level X, and you can see it says Garchomp C because it's the Champions one, obviously the champion there being Cynthia, and you've got the gym leader one there. So a slight difference, and it's nice because it shows off a little bit of all the generations. Donphan, great looking card. Actually a really fun card to play if you're playing in older decks. Reshiram and Zekrom. Personally, 2 of my least favourite cards. I don't know if the camera really picks it up, but it's very sparkly and very kind of rainbow hollow. These were 2 of the original full arts back in the day. They were silver full arts, I believe, and I think they looked much nicer back then. Mewtwo EX, Xerneas EX, the second card that we couldn't pull. This was so hard to pull for some reason. Pulled multiple of all the others, so, you know, comparing it to Mewtwo, I pulled so many Mewtwo's, not one Xerneas. And then we end it with Mega Rayquaza EX and Tapu Lele GX, really playable card. Kind of a little bit bummed out that they didn't include at least a V or something, you know, because it's gone through every generation up to Sun and Moon here with Tapu Lele, but I guess older cards are always more fun. Probably a well-known fact, but in case you didn't know, the text here is Japanese for the attack. So Emerald Break, I think it's the attack. Almost 100% sure that it's the attack. So actually in Japan, the cards have the English version there, so we will say Emerald Break. So the Japanese cards are really nice. So that's the end of the set. But it's not the end of the master set. So I'll show you why. And I always try where possible to get all the extra bits, promos, cards, which should belong in the set. In this case, I'm going for the ones with the stamp. So without further ado, McDonald's 25th collection. So these came out across the globe, and I'm just going to go through them quicker. So you've basically got the non-holo and the holo side by side for each of them. So all the first partner Pokemon or starters or whatever you want to call them for each generation. So you got your Kanto, your Johto, and it goes on and on. So I'll just show you quickly. We got Trico and Turtwig, Snivy, Chespin, Rowlet, Grookey, and then the fire types. Charmander, not my favourite looking Charmander, but it'll do. Cyndaquil, Torchic, and Chimchar. I'm going back a little bit here, but I kind of wish that the cards were older. So, the Charmander might have been a really old Charmander rather than a relatively modern one. I think this is from... Oh, this is testing my knowledge. It's from a Sun and Moon set, but I cannot think which one. But as you can see, the Torchic is an older card than the Charmander. And I kind of wish it started off older and went through to more modern. But it is what it is. Tepig, Fennekin, Litten, Scorbunny. And I do like the way that they fit perfectly. In the sense where there's 8 generations up until the point this was released. Obviously, Paldea wasn't a thing. So 2 double sets of pages here. Totodile and Squirrel, or Squirrel and Totodile. Mudkip and Piplup. Oshawott, Froakie, Poplio, Sobble. And then ending with the Pikachu. And then we go into promos. So we start off with the one card that I think maybe gets missed easiest by people who collect these. Some people do all the 25th McDonald's cards. They do all the promo cards that came with the various boxes and tins, but they miss this. This is a basic holo Pikachu from America. I think it only was released in America, and it came with cereal boxes. I can't remember if it came in the box. I don't know if that's a thing. At least here in the UK, I don't think you're allowed to put things in cereal boxes for kids anymore. But it was a General Mills promo. General Mills being their American kind of big cereal producer, equivalent of Kellogg's here in the UK. But I do really like the holo pattern on that. And a really cheap card. If you are looking for a master set and you're missing that, I'd probably seen them for £10 or less. And then the actual promos you could pick up. So Dragapult. Also, speaking of promos, this is technically a Sword and Shield promo. So if you're looking for a Black Star promo collection, you must pick up that card. It's part of the Sword and Shield promos. Dragapult Prime, rather. That reminds me, the Donphan earlier was actually Donphan Prime, but I didn't call that out. We have Lance's Charizard V and Dark Sylveon V. Really like the way that they've gone with kind of a modern version of older cards. So obviously, insert NPC's name and Pokemon was quite a popular thing back in the day. For example, Sabrina's Staryu or Blaine's Charmander. But here we have Lance's Charizard, and it's quite fitting because Lance is, well, technically a dragon trainer, and Charizard is not a dragon, so it's not fitting at all. But, it's a pseudo-dragon. Everyone loves Charizard, everyone loves Lance. And then we've got the Dark Pokemon. Obviously, we had Dark and we had Light. You'll see some of them shortly. We've got a Zacian Level X. It actually looks great. It's obviously a really old card, so if you don't appreciate the old Level X's, it probably just looks like a very basic card. But it's really nice. And to say that it's a really cheap promo is just silly. Delta Species Mimikyu. So obviously a Water-type Delta Species where you change the typing of your Pokemon. This, I think it came with a collection box that was exclusive to Game in the UK. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. It came with 2 other cards, which are Light Toxtricity And I think it was the Hydreigon C or Champion, level 61. I'm not sure. I do really, really like this artwork with the Oddish there. So nice. But yeah, I think this was a promo exclusive for Game, in the sense where they had the Game Prime collection, which everyone thought the name would be on Amazon. It was Amazon in the US, but yeah. It might not be, so if I'm wrong and you're shouting at me in the comments, then that's fine. Greninja Gold Star, this was the ETB promo. It looks amazing. Shiny Greninja is always fun. And then I've included Professor Burnett. I've included what looks like a really off-center Professor Burnett with the stamp. I do have about 5 or 6 of these. I tried a Lugia deck with 4 Professor Burnett's. It didn't go well, so don't do that. So I might swap that out for one that has better centering. And then, of course, the Pikachu V-Union. It wouldn't be every generation if we didn't include a V-Union, of which I believe at the time of this coming out, there was only 3 released. There was Mewtwo, Zacian, and Greninja. We've since had Morpeko, and that's it. But the way you play it is all 4 pieces have to be in the discard pile, and then you can pull it into play, and it acts as a single basic Pokemon. It does give away 3 prizes if you take it out, so similar to a VMAX, but it has some funky attacks. And they all kind of have the Union gain, which is gain 2 energy from your discard for a colorless. 120, flip a coin. You can make the opponent paralyzed. Just a big 250 attacker, which, you know, with a choice belt back in the day of Vs running around, could have actually took out a V-Star. And then Disconnect, which is really, really good. 150. During your opponent's next turn, they can't play any item cards. Item lock is a massive thing. Do you know what? See, my head's going crazy into deck building mode now, and I'm wondering if I can make Pikachu V-Union work with a kind of Miraidon Iron Hands box. Probably not, but you never know. We'll give it a try. And obviously, so many different artists contributing here for the Pikachus. I think there's 25 individually artistically made Pikachus. That was a handful. But yeah, final couple of pages here. The Pikachu V and V Max, which came with, let me reach out and get it. They came with this. If you leave it in a box, then you have a very sad life. Get it out. It looks amazing. Put it on a shelf. And then I did get the UPC. You can kind of see a little hint there. But we have the gold Pikachu V and the gold Pokeball. Honestly, not the biggest fan. Very bright. Very reflective. But very cool nonetheless. And yes, they are promos. So again, if you're looking for a promo collection, it gets quite expensive. But then the golds. So the Pikachu and the Charizard. I'm going to take these out. Bear with me one moment. I feel like they need to be appreciated. There we go. A little bit of scuffing on mine. But they did have like some big plastic packaging around them. But not known for their quality. But Christ, they are amazing. And the back is actually a metal back. Obviously not legal to play. It's base set, so it would not be legal to play anyway. I'll just leave that on the side there, and I will put that in the binder when I have more than one hand available. And then the base set Charizard is such a beautiful card. And I think you can now officially get those graded. I'm turning this sideways, and I'm placing them back in the sleeves. I think PSA are officially taking metal cards now. There have since been other metal cards released. We obviously have the gold metal Mew EX from 151. There's the Arceus V and V Star, which I have conveniently put into Brilliant Stars. So that's it. That's the master set. But I'm going to include these. I'm aware that this is becoming a lengthy video for what is a 25 card set on paper. The Jumbos. I think you must include the Jumbos in Celebration. So we've got the Dragapult, the Mimikyu, and we've seen all these in there, so I'm not going to hang around. The Light Toxtricity, Hydreigon C, and I think these, again, were part of the whole game promotion, or, yeah, something like that. Dark Sylveon V, Lance's Charizard V, the V Union, so in one full giant card so you can appreciate all of the artwork. And then this, a card which doesn't come as a promo as such. Excuse me while I readjust. It doesn't come as a promo as such. It actually came with one of these. I don't think it was this. This came with one of the sets. There are so many different collection boxes, and they came with different things. Actually, I think this was what this Pikachu came with. There was in a few shops that you could buy them from, and it was like £10 with the giant binder and one copy of this. But it has the stamp, so it counts. And then there is more jumbo goodness, and these are the oversized jumbo versions of the first partner Pokemon. They are what I believe should have been the McDonald's promos. Hands down. If this was a McDonald's promo with the holo beside it rather than, you know, some random Sun and Moon Bulbasaur or something, it would have been absolutely killer. So we've got Bulbasaur, we've got base set Charmander and base set Squirtle. And then we have a gap. I don't know why there's a gap there. Oh, it's because I had the Pikachu here. So they were in kind of, you know, obviously these are in Pokedex order. And then Pikachu. But then I decided, let's just keep this for the McDonald's, not McDonald's, sorry, the oversized promos, which I need to move everything up one, but I am not refilming this, so you'll have the gap. Cyndaquil and Totodile, so this is we're in the Neo area here, which arguably is just as good as base set. And then we've got Trico, we've got Torchic, and we've got Mudkip. Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup, Snivy, Tepig, and Oshawott. Noticing how the artwork doesn't look as good as you get older. So, like, you know, at least there's a field in the background. Comparing it to the creativity, you know, the colours on that just pop off. There's some kind of house there. Torchic's in a field, Chimchar's in a field, Piplup's in a snow scene. And then Snivy's in generic, futuristic CGI background. Tepig's in copy and paste, change the colour filter. And Oshawott's in a slightly blurred out version. It's just not as impressive, but... And again, you know... And I'm not going to say they're not nice, because they are. Also shows you the card is X and Y. I think they all kind of... Yeah, this one's black and white. It does show you what era the cards are if you were unsure. So yeah, that's cool. Essentially keeping the set number from what they were. Let me get back to it. So what we got? They're so hard to turn pages without just turning a clump. So you kind of have to get your finger in a little bit and then turn it. And then we have Fennekin and obviously Froakie. Now we're into Sun and Moon. So we have Rowlet, Litten, and... Oh my god. There we go. Poplio. And we should be ending it here with Sword and Shield, at least at the time of the set coming out, the most relevant up-to-date partner, first partner Pokemon, with Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sobble, who is not yet crying. And that's it. That is what I believe to be a full master set of 25th anniversary celebrations, which, you know, obviously all the jumbos, which came out in actual packs in America. I think over here they were free with some retailers when you spend £10 or £15 or more, and they came out over the course of maybe 8 months. The jumbos from the set plus that Pikachu, and then of course the main set. It's a great set. I think that's why I started with it. Because it was the smallest set, if I'm honest, and I thought it would be the quickest to get done. I'm going to end on here because it's such a beautiful page. So yeah, thank you for watching the 25th anniversary. I've got loads of other master sets coming, are already completed, and hopefully to be completed in the future. Apologies if you can hear the stupid cat meowing in the background, just to ruin an already unprofessional video. He's playing, he's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here and probably see what the cat wants, probably feeding. Maybe I'll film some more master sets after this too. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.